Have you ever wondered how much power your consciousness really has? Maybe you're not here by chance, but the universe has led you to that moment to give you a new perspective. A perspective that can change your reality, yes, your entire perception of life. Dr. Joe Dispenza often speaks of the hidden power of consciousness and its ability to expand the boundaries of our everyday experience. Reality, he explains, is not a solid, unchangeable structure, but a mirror of our deepest convictions, thoughts, and expectations. With every thought, every feeling, every perception you weave the fabric of your own reality, and this realization is the gateway to your freedom. The way you see the world can take on a whole new form with a single new thought, a single experience. Imagine that you see life as a puzzle in which each new piece expands your awareness and changes the overall picture. Even seeing and understanding new ideas and perspectives can trigger a profound change in you. When you deal with Dr. Dispenza's thoughts, you realize that your consciousness is not just a passive observer, it is an active creator. This video itself is a step towards transformation. By getting involved in new insights that lie ahead of you, you already take the first piece of the puzzle into your hands. When you open your thoughts, when you accept the moment, a journey can begin that transforms your reality from the inside out. Now we come to the next level. We dive into the deeper connection between consciousness and reality and discover how the mind can shape what we think is real with infinite power. The reality we are experiencing is not an unchangeable framework, but rather a work of art that is shaped at every moment by our consciousness. What we perceive as real is deeply rooted in the beliefs and thoughts that we unconsciously cherish, like a river that forms in its riverbed the path that the water can take. Thus, our perception also flows through the paths of our beliefs and thought patterns and creates the world we see. Our consciousness, which many often consider only as a companion of life, is in truth the artist behind the canvas of our reality. Every conviction that lives deep inside us unceasingly shapes what we perceive, how we feel, and how we react to the world. If we believe that the world is full of possibilities, we also recognize these opportunities in our environment. If, on the other hand, we believe that life is full of obstacles, all things seem like barriers that we must overcome. This belief that the world only shows what we carry in us is one of the central teachings of Dr. Dispenza. Just as our consciousness works, it not only shapes the now, but also the coming. This foundation, which we build within ourselves, decides whether we see a world full of possibilities or whether we look through the prism of our fears, doubts, and blockages. Understanding this inner change is the first step towards a new freedom, the freedom to create a reality that is not limited by old thought patterns, but that opens up to all that we want to realize in it. Next, we explore the thoughts themselves, those invisible building blocks that, repeatedly and consciously directed, consolidate our reality. Because the power of thoughts is the tool with which we shape this foundation in our consciousness and thus shape the image of our world. Our thoughts are much more than mere fleeting ideas or reactions to what surrounds us, they are the building blocks of our reality. In every moment, thoughts shape the image we have of the world and of ourselves. They shape the way we interact with others, how we face challenges, and how we perceive ourselves. Dr. Joe Dispenza describes this process as the invisible architecture of our lives. Thoughts that are repeatedly thought and felt become established in our consciousness and begin to determine the nature of our reality. Dispenza's research shows that repeated thoughts physically change not only our inner posture, but also our brain. Every time we think of a thought, the brain sends electrical impulses through specific neural networks. When we keep thinking the same thoughts, such as "I can do it" or "I will always fail," we strengthen the neural connections that represent these beliefs. Over time, these connections become so strong that they act like a fixed track in the brain and become habits, automated patterns that we perform without conscious reflection. The thought, which was once only a short spark, has turned into a solid conviction that, like a lighthouse, sets the direction of our lives. This repetition and consolidation of thoughts creates a kind of inner script that influences our decisions, our behavior, and ultimately the way we react to our environment. Let's take the conviction "I'm successful" as an example. If you cultivate this thought regularly, it begins to direct your actions. You will radiate confidence, make bold decisions, and face challenges with a different attitude. Conversely, the thought of "I'm not good enough" leads you to be reserved and sabotage yourself, even when the external conditions are perfect. This pattern shows how thoughts lead us through life like an invisible thread and determine whether we live in a reality full of possibilities or in a cage of self-doubt. Dr. Dispenza explains that this process has an immense power, the ability to reprogram one's own brain through targeted mental work. By repeating conscious, positive thoughts, we can dissolve the neural networks that carry old, negative beliefs and build new networks. In this way, thoughts become not only words or images, but transforming forces that directly affect our experiences. In this process, we create a new reality in which the external life gradually adapts to the inner beliefs. Now we come to the level of emotions, the invisible energies that transport and consolidate our thoughts to a deeper level. Because the power of thoughts only becomes a real force through the emotional resonance that shapes reality. Thoughts may be the beginning of our reality, but it is the emotions that anchor them on a deep, almost unshakable level. Emotions are the invisible forces that fill our thoughts with intense liveliness, give them weight and firmly anchor them within us. Without emotions, our thoughts would be like leaves in the wind, fleeting and unstable. But as soon as we build an emotional connection to a thought, it transforms into a powerful message to our consciousness and subconscious alike. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that every emotion has a certain vibration and energy that resonates throughout our being. When we feel love, joy, or gratitude, we emit vibrations that influence our environment in a positive way. These vibrations settle in our body, and the mind receives a signal: I am in a positive reality. Conversely, emotions such as fear, anger, or sadness create negative vibrations that put us in a state of tightness and resistance. The body reflects these emotions by releasing stress hormones such as cortisol, which in turn clouds our well-being and perception. Imagine repeating the thought "I'm valuable" in your mind over and over again. However, if you think about this thought without the feeling of inner appreciation, it remains superficial and has little influence on your deepest beliefs. But as soon as you remember your precious moments with gratitude and love, the things that made you proud, the people who gave you support and love, this thought emits a powerful resonance in your heart. The emotion connects with the thought and becomes a living truth that you carry in your heart. This connection between thought and emotion forms into a firm conviction that shapes your behavior and ultimately your entire reality. Dispenza describes how purposefully cultivated, positive emotions such as joy and compassion can permanently change the brain and body. He shows that we can actively influence our perception of the world by consciously directing our emotions. This emotional resonance goes deep, it gives the thoughts a physical dimension, and so the transformation begins from within. It is the emotions that leave a kind of memory in our cells that shapes reality more than words alone. In a practical exercise, you can take advantage of this. When you focus on a goal, imagine how it feels to have already reached that goal. Immerse yourself in the joy, relief, and gratitude. This exercise brings the thought to life and sends a powerful message to your mind and body that your reality has changed, even before it has outwardly. Now that you know the emotional power behind your thoughts, let's move on to the next level. Next, we look into the fascinating world of quantum physics and examine how reality is understood at the deepest level as energy rather than solid matter. Our world seems so solid, so tangible, and yet what we consider to be solid reality is ultimately an illusion. Quantum physics shows us that everything that exists is essentially energy that is constantly in motion in a kind of dance. What we see as matter is merely an interplay of atoms and molecules, which are held together by the countless vibrations and waves of energy. This discovery changes our understanding of reality on a fundamental level and confirms the teaching of Dr. Joe Dispenza, that the reality we experience is actually mappable through our thoughts and consciousness. Quantum physicists have shown that the behavior of particles, the smallest building blocks of the universe, can be influenced by observation, a phenomenon known as the observer effect. In simple words, this means that reality changes as soon as we look at it. Every thought, every perception, every expectation shapes on a subtle level the way we experience the world. Our consciousness acts like a prism that transforms the energy around us into a solid experience and thus shapes our external world. Dr. Dispenza explains this process as an unconscious power that we often do not even perceive. For example, if we are convinced that the world is a dangerous place, our consciousness projects this perception into every interaction and experience. This negative expectation not only affects our thoughts and feelings, but actually begins to shape our external reality in such a way that it corresponds to this inner conviction. Conversely, however, this also means that we can consciously reshape our reality by changing the patterns of our consciousness. What appears to be solid matter is in fact flexible and malleable, like clay, which can be brought into any desired form by the artist's hands. The illusion of solid reality dissolves when we realize that our thoughts and our observation are actively involved in the creation of our lives. Imagine that you look at your life as a work of art. Every thought is like a brushstroke, every conviction a new layer of color. When you realize that the reality is not fixed, but is designed by you, a huge field of possibilities opens up. You are no longer a spectator, but become the artist of your life, the conscious creator of your own world. In the next chapter, we will deepen this knowledge and examine how, through targeted meditation and visualization, we can begin to redesign and experience our reality inside before these changes manifest themselves outside. Meditation and visualization become tools with which we directly influence the energy of reality and pave the way for a new reality. When we understand the world as a moldable energy, the question arises, how can we actively participate in this design? Dr. Joe Dispenza describes meditation and visualization as key tools that allow us to access the field of possibilities and recreate our reality. Meditation brings us into a state of deep relaxation and opens the mind to new thought patterns and ideas, while visualization fills these thoughts with life and shapes them into powerful inner images. Meditation allows us to go beyond the limits of the conscious mind and establish a deep connection with our subconscious. In this state of tranquility, when the noise of everyday thinking is silenced, we arrive at a space in which new beliefs and possibilities can find their way into our interior. Dispenza describes this state as the opening for the quantum field that contains all possibilities. Here we can create the reality we want to experience in the outside world with a clear focus and a conscious intention. Visualization is the means that gives shape to this intention. When we vividly imagine a new reality, be it a goal, a state of peace and health, or a sense of fulfillment, this visualization appeals not only to our mind, but also to our body. The body does not distinguish between an idea and the real experience. By carrying a vision of happiness, success, or healing within us, the body begins to adjust to this state and react physiologically to what the mind tells it. Dispenza shows that these inner images activate and consolidate neural circuits that reprogram the brain, so that the desired experience eventually appears as part of our reality. Imagine that every morning you visualize a life rooted in deep harmony and joy. With each breath you see yourself happy and fulfilled, feel the freedom that this image awakens in you. Your body begins to internalize the emotions of success and joy as if this state were already a reality. This inner visualization acts like a seed that is planted deep in your consciousness and slowly takes root. With each day you repeat this practice, you will strengthen the impression of this vision and bring your outer life piece by piece in harmony with this inner image. When meditation and visualization are practiced regularly, they become a kind of navigation system that aligns you with the course of your self-created reality. This practice is not a simple wishful thinking, but an active process of transformation. You enter a state of agreement with your desired reality, leaving the old, limiting way of thinking behind. In this agreement, the external world begins to slowly change, adapting to your inner image, so that you soon live in the reality that you have created within yourself. Next, we devote ourselves to the deep power of the present moment, the now. We explore how the conscious experience of the moment alone can dissolve old patterns and create space for new possibilities. Every moment harbors the possibility of transformation. The past is a closed chapter, and the future is still unwritten. But in this present moment, right now, lies the inexhaustible power to re-choose the direction of your life. Dr. Joe Dispenza describes that now as the only space where true change can happen, because our mind is only fully present and creative in the present moment. Many of us tend to dwell mentally in the past by reliving through old patterns, experiences, and beliefs over and over again. These memories shape our reality, as they make us draw from familiar thoughts and emotions that keep us walking in the same ways. For example, if you are convinced that you have repeatedly failed in the past, this image also colors your present actions. Your mind constantly resorts to past emotions and thoughts that limit you in your current situation. But the now gives you the opportunity to break away from this old pattern and consciously take a new path. When you are present in the present moment with complete mindfulness, you create space for new thoughts and opportunities that are no longer burdened by old experiences. Meditation on the present moment, be it through deep breathing, through the conscious perception of your body, or by focusing on your surroundings, brings you into a pure presence. This presence allows you to let go of old beliefs and open yourself to the unknown. Dispenza describes this state as the unknown, which carries infinite potential. When you are in the present moment, you have the freedom to reshape each moment, detached from the shackles of your past. This practice of mindfulness and presence not only strengthens your mind, but also sends a powerful signal to your body. Your body registers the change, feels that it no longer has to act out of old emotions such as fear or doubt, and begins to reorient itself. Your whole being swings into a new frequency that is no longer in the shadow of past experiences, but in the light of the possibilities that you now open up to yourself. Living in the now is like opening a new door to a reality in which you are completely free to re-choose who you want to be. This door leads you to a state in which you can consciously shape instead of reacting automatically from old patterns. It is an invitation to you to develop your full potential and to realize that every moment is a valuable building block of your new reality. Next, we explore how you can practically use these insights to transform your self-image and see yourself as the creator of your life. We discuss how you can leave the old patterns of yourself behind and get on your way to creating a new, conscious self. The deepest and probably most powerful change you can make is the transformation of your self-image. How you see yourself is the basis of every experience you have in your life. Dr. Joe Dispenza describes this process as the transition from reactive life to conscious creativity. When you understand that your old self-image, consisting of the beliefs, habits, and patterns that you have unconsciously adopted, is just a version of who you could be, a world full of new opportunities opens up to you. This transformation process begins with the decision to let go of the old self. Your previous self-image is closely intertwined with your experiences and beliefs from the past. Perhaps you have long seen yourself as someone who has certain boundaries, who is dependent on external circumstances, or who has to follow certain patterns. But as soon as you decide to consciously discard the old self, you detach yourself from these limitations. You give yourself permission to create a new self, a version of yourself that is free from the shackles of the past and has the power to consciously choose what they want to manifest in their life. In practice, this means that you first get a clear picture of your future self. Imagine how you want to be. What beliefs do you want to carry? What qualities should define you? Dispenza calls this process the inventing of a new personality. In your imagination, you go beyond what you have been before and bring clarity to the person you want to be from now on. This process of visualizing and identifying with your future self sends powerful signals to your subconscious mind and prepares your mind to accept the new self. Now the true transformation begins. With every decision you make, with every thought that comes up, you have the opportunity to choose either the old self or the new, conscious self. This conscious change is the actual work of transformation. Dr. Dispenza explains that our brain needs time to internalize this change, as it has to let go of old neural connections and build new networks. With each conscious decision, you strengthen your new self-image and distance yourself from old, automated reactions. You become the creator of your life by having the courage to choose again every time. This new self is not born overnight, but with every conscious decision, with every thought that strengthens the new self-image, you approach the realization. Transformation is an ongoing process that requires dedication and mindfulness. But with each step, the awareness grows in you that you have control over your life and that your reality is the reflection of your new, conscious self. The last chapter is now about welcoming this newly created reality and experiencing the power of conscious life in all its facets. You will learn how to strengthen confidence in your creative power and live your new reality full of joy and confidence. After the intense journey through consciousness, thoughts, emotions, and transformation, you are now at a point where you can open the gate to a new reality. In this new reality, you are the conscious creator of your life, and every decision you make, every conviction you care for, forms the foundation on which you stand. This reality is no longer a product of your past or a result of unconscious patterns, but an expression of your conscious choice and your deepest intentions. Dr. Joe Dispenza describes the state of conscious life as a life in harmony with your true desires and goals. It means accepting every moment and living in full awareness that you have the power to shape it. Your new reality is no longer a mere echo of past thoughts and beliefs, but a living, constantly evolving work that feeds on your highest visions. In this reality, you open yourself to possibilities that you never thought possible before. Instead of falling back on old patterns, you always invite yourself to choose again, create anew, and grow. The conscious life is also a life full of trust. Trust that the reality you are creating suits you in every way and is aligned with your highest well-being. It is a state in which you know that every setback, every challenge is just another opportunity to go deeper into your conscious self and choose even more consciously. Challenges no longer appear to you as obstacles, but as opportunities to strengthen and further consolidate your new self. Just like a tree that lowers its roots deeper and deeper into the ground, your confidence also grows with every decision you make consciously. Now that you have arrived at this point of conscious creation, it is important to live this reality. Dispenza emphasizes how important it is to integrate these insights into your everyday life and not just understand them as concepts. Being a conscious creator means starting anew each day with clarity and intent, nurturing your own thoughts and emotions, and making your vision come alive at every moment. It is a state in which you not only dream, but lead the dream into reality, full of devotion and energy. Finally, this new state of conscious life invites you to experience your reality full of joy and lightness. You may let go of what no longer serves you and welcome what suits you. Change is not a goal that lies in the distance, but a continuous process of creation and re-electing. Your life becomes a source of inspiration, not only for you, but also for others who are inspired by your energy and clarity. You are ready to see your life with new eyes and enjoy the freedom that comes in every decision. This journey has given you the means and the strength to tune your life to your deepest inner truth. Welcome to your new reality, a reality that you consciously shape with every breath and full of confidence.